So now we're going to get a question that directly talks about reparations.
We're not only known for the work that we do here in Detroit, but across the country in black communities, having worked in over 35 cities of the blackest cities in America. Saying all that to say, I'm extremely qualified to sit in front of the current vice president and which can be the next president of the United States of America. As I pose my question to you, I would first like to make it known that I don't have any emotional connections to politicians. I believe that this is one of our biggest flaws in the current political process. I view politics as a business, and America is one of the biggest corporations in the world. With that being said, I'm here on behalf of the business of the black community.
Now, pay attention to this. Bro's energy is real strong. He's letting people know I have no emotional connection to this. Don't try to finesse me with the emotions and what y'all do with the Democrats and all that other stuff. The fear, this is business. This is business. So he has the right energy. Let's see how things move.
With all that black Americans have been through and contribute to the success of America, I feel that there should be an in-depth investigation or evaluation of the lack of resources and current living conditions in black communities nationwide. My question to you is, what's your stance on reparations? We all know that America became great, off the backs of free black labor. How progressive are you on making it a priority and righting America's wrongs? It's understood that you are running for president for all people of America, asking for specifics.
So I guess he saw the interview that we played earlier. Because he said, we get that you're president for everybody. And that's going back to that interview that we just showed y'all when she was asked about reparations. She says, be clear, I'm a president for everybody. You think I'm going to do something specific that just benefits black people? No. So he's been paying attention. Very strong question. I would have preferred that he wasn't reading it, but I'm glad that he got off his points. You know what I'm saying? But a very strong question. Let's see how I just felt like it would have landed a little bit stronger and would have held her more accountable. But let's keep going.
For black communities doesn't mean don't do for others, but black Americans are heavily asked to vote Democrat in every election for over half a century with very little in return. What are your plans to address these very important issues and change that narrative?
He's asking about reparations. Let's see what she says.
Thank you, Zeke.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
She appreciates
it. So to your point, yes, I am running to be a president for all Americans. That being said, I do have clear eyes about the disparities that exist and the context in which they exist, meaning history, to your point.
Oh, my God.
So my agenda, well, first of all, on the point of reparations, it has to be studied. There's no question about that. And I've been very clear about that position. In terms of my immediate plan,
it has to be studied. Yeah. Yo. This makes me appreciate Joe Biden. And shout out to Charlamagne. You're not black unless you vote for me. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. This is why Biden had that energy. Did you hear what she just said? Like, how my man just gave the whole context, an amazing question, read everything, so he made sure he hit every point. And her response regarding reparations is, oh, it needs to be studied. Kamala, you're the vice president right now. When do you plan on studying this? Could you imagine if any other group of people, could you imagine if a Jewish person came to her regarding a situation between Israel and Palestine, and her response was, yeah, it's got to be studied. Could you imagine a Palestinian coming to her about the same conflict? Yeah, it's got to be studied. You know. No. Black people are embarrassing. We are embarrassing. If this doesn't show how people look at us and do not take us seriously, then shame on us. My man just came up there strong. Detroit hat on, strong. Let her know from the jump. I'm saying all this, the work that we've done in the community, just to know that I'm qualified to have this conversation with you, ma'am. I'm not emotionally tied to any of this. This is business. Could you imagine you're trying to talk business, make a deal, and somebody says, oh yeah, we need to study that. You ever go to your boss and ask for a raise? And you've been talking about the raise for a very long time. You tried to talk to your boss for a very long time, and then you finally set up a meeting because you tried to talk to the boss in passing and it didn't work. So you had to schedule a meeting. You set up the meeting. Y'all talk, hey, I want to, this is the work that I've done. This is the return, that we've gotten. These are the projects that I've been very successful on. This is the amount of money that it's made the company. It's been very successful. This is the team that I've used to create. I've generated this great revenue source with limited resources. This is the raise that I'm asking for. Oh yeah, we'll look into that. That's what she just did. And you're lying to yourself if you think that she did anything else. This is why we cannot continue to vote for the lesser of two evils. This is why you have to be willing to take a couple steps back or whatever, or to let people know, look, man, all right, things may be bad for us. We may have Project 2025. Okay, I'll take that risk. But I'm not going to continue to support you, who just completely like Kai just said. Who's that? Kyle on there. Kyle just said she just blew off the question. This is insane. They were talking about reparations 4 years ago when she was running. She just told us that she has to study it. Could you imagine? Think back to the debate that she had with Donald Trump when they were pressing Donald Trump about what's your plan on this? What's your plan? He said, we have the concept of a plan. It's going to be adjusting based on what's the current situation. He said, we have the concept of a plan. Oh, so you don't have a plan. Okay. That was one of the sticking points that a lot of Democrats got behind, right? That's the one that Van Jones was getting jittery about, probably getting excited, right? All the Joy Reid probably, yeah, Kamala, that one for the home team, right? But look what she does when it comes to black people. My man just gave a 2-minute, I didn't even play the whole clip for y'all of him speaking. He came in so Detroit, what up, though? That's what we say in the city. What up, though? Kamala Harris, Charlamagne, what up, though? Gave a whole speech. She said, oh yeah, we'll study it. It needs to be studied. Kamala, who needs to study it? You're the vice president. I don't know. Did the Wi-Fi? Hold on. Let me turn this Wi-Fi off because I just saw something I ain't like. Hold on. Let me turn this Wi-Fi off to make sure that we're not losing any connection. Y'all let me know if there's an issue. I turned the Wi-Fi off, so we just going straight through the land. Let me read some of these. My fault. Uncle Brother, shout out to Uncle Brother in the building. Here we go. It's got to be studied. BS again. This is how can we look at ourselves seriously? And this is the thing, just like Shai said, I think Shai wrote it earlier. Shai wrote, my family don't care. They with Kamala. So many black people are like this. I don't know. Hold on. Hold on one second. Hold on. Because I see the My apologies. I was trying to make sure that the service wasn't going in and out. But look at what Shah just wrote. My family don't care. They were Kamala. How many black people do y'all know that just don't care? Anybody but Trump. Anybody but Trump. This is why they feel that they can take advantage of us, because y'all just say this stuff. So well, imagine if just stop saying anybody but Trump. Stop saying it. You saw what happened. Think about it like this from a negotiation standpoint. We've talked about this before. Barack Obama came out and said something about black people. Black people came out and said, we're not feeling that. Democrats and Republicans said, Barack, you missed with that. You're losing us. What did Kamala now put out? She puts out a new plan for black Americans. This is what happens when you don't give away your vote and give away your leverage for nothing. So all these people that are running around, oh yeah, anybody but Trump. You're doing yourself and us a disservice, because you're saying that to other people. Now those people are running around saying, yeah, anybody but Trump. Now anybody but Trump. Now they don't have to deliver anything for us because you voting for anybody but Trump. So they don't even got to do anything. Now they're not going to accomplish anything for you. They're going to move on to that LGBTQ community, maybe move on to the Jewish community, maybe move to the Palestinian community, maybe move to the Asian community, maybe move to every other community but you and your agenda, because you just anybody but Trump. And you stand strong on it as if you're fighting for your own community, when all you're doing is fighting for the Democrats that have made promise after promise to you without delivering anything. But you think you're standing on principles because you're going against Trump. All right, cool. Urs wrote, that's how you mask it. Control misinformation. All right, my fault. Let me catch up. Mama Lay, people need to really listen. Sheesh. She just blew off the question. Facts. Uncle brother, Kamala has been trained very well to give answers that don't answer ish. I agree. Kyle wrote, I bet next she talks about what she will do for everybody else. Facts. Remember that Biden quote. You ain't black if you don't vote for me. This is what they say. Let me ask y'all a question. Why does Biden and all these Democrats, they let their nuts hang when it comes to black people, but they're scared to death when it comes to anybody else? But you got all the nerve, you're real bold when you're talking to black people, as if they act as if we're back in chains and shackles. Biden wouldn't talk that way to any other group of people. Imagine you going on the show to appeal to black people. She keeps talking about Donald Trump, and later in this interview, she's talking about Donald Trump going to Michigan, and when Donald Trump said that the rest of the country will turn into Michigan. Yeah, Michigan is not a good look. Chicago, not a good look. But look at what they do to us when they come on our platforms. Look at what Kamala just did, totally just disregarded that question. Look at what Joe Biden does. He pretty much just said, y'all know the energy that he said. He pretty much said it. Y'all may have heard what y'all heard, but he said, and I'm going to use the word Negro, but y'all know the word that I'm saying. When Joe Biden said, yeah, you ain't black if you don't vote for me, he pretty much said, y'all Negroes know what's up. Y'all Negroes know what's up. And he didn't say, and he wasn't thinking Negro when he said it. Y'all know exactly how that made y'all feel. That didn't make you feel good. That didn't make you feel valued. That didn't make you feel like you were a valued person and supporter to this particular group that we've been supporting more than any other group in America. We've been supporting the Democratic Party. And I'm talking about black people. How did that make you feel when he totally just ished on us like that? Come on, man. Come on. The video. Okay. Sorry about that. I had to, somebody said the video was freezing up. That's why I stopped. I asked somebody if the video was freezing up. They told me that it was good. Clearly they're behind or whatever. It's all good. Uncle brother, it's good now. All right. Thank you. Thank you for that. All minorities are monoliths in their eyes, not individuals. We're going to have to dive into that one. All minorities are monoliths in their eyes. That's an interesting point. Yeah, it's an interesting point. Maya wrote, reparations for black people has been studied by several scholars and economists. Either you're with it or you're not. Like I'm telling y'all, if it's me, I would respect when RFK said that's not going to happen. I respected it because he actually broke down exactly why it was going to happen rather than him just trying to finesse. It's like I keep going back to the relationship talk. Ladies, do y'all want a dude who keep telling y'all, we're going to be together. We're going to be together. You know y'all not going to be together. You know what it is. He hits you up on the late night. Y'all know what this is. They're hitting us up late night, and we think that they're committed to us getting ready to propose. That's what the Democrats do. They hit us up every 4 years. They're texting you. They're not even calling you. They're texting like, yo, what you doing? What you doing? You getting a WYD. They're not even writing out the words. You're getting a WYD, and you think that this person is getting ready to commit to you and take you seriously. That's what they do to us. They hit us up late night. Maya wrote, and multiple other groups have received reparations since slavery. Barack Obama gave Holocaust survivors and their families. He gave reparations to them. Like a lot of people don't know this. Like Barack Obama gave Holocaust survivors or their families or descendants. I forget the exact particulars on it, but look it up. Barack Obama gave reparations. Kyle wrote, the Democrats have been messing with Trump for 8 years now, and they are scared of the come around. People are scared to death of Trump. Scared. They're scared because you want to know why people are scared of Trump? Because Trump doesn't answer to the same people that they answer to. See, Democrats and Republicans as well, because Trump, I see him in a totally different category. The reason why they fear Trump so much is because they've been taught that you got to be politically correct. You got to carry yourself like this. You got to win the support. You got to do certain things. You got to suck up to these people. You got to suck up to these people. Trump is just Trump. And people are drawn to him. That's why everybody else is jealous. You know that kid in school that doesn't have to try, but people just mess with him. People just love him. Then you got the other kids that are trying to be cool, that's not Trump. The reason why people like Trump is because we've been seeing all y'all faking it for so long that even if he says something that we don't agree with, it's still appealing to us because there's a certain level of genuine. He may be wrong. He may be exaggerating, but he believes it. He believes it. Like he may be completely wrong in what he's saying, but he actually, it comes across as he actually believes it. If Trump said that he could fly right now, I would think that he's being serious. Like, I don't think he could fly, but I believe he's being, I don't know. It's commonly called manipulation. We are being manipulated. Mama Lay, why are we allowing this though? Like, if we know that we're being manipulated, why? Why can't we sit down with our family? Why can't we sit down with our friends? I told y'all, I was on a call the other day with a bunch of my college friends, and they're like, Trump is a racist. He's setting black people back. Like, I felt so like, this is the team that who I want to team with. This is who they identify me with. Like, he's setting me. No person is setting me back, period. No person is setting me back. We got enough decisions to where we set ourselves back before we can even be concerned about what other people are doing to set us back. And I know a lot of us like to say, well, slavery set us back so much. We're still dealing from if you believe that you're still dealing with the issues that were created during slavery, if you still think that you're dealing with the issues that were created during Jim Crow, you're absolutely right. If you don't think that you're dealing with those issues and you don't feel the same level of quote unquote racism and prejudice that everybody's trying to make us feel, if you don't feel like we're going to be in chains and shackles, then you're right. Whatever you feel, you're right. If you think you can win, if you think you can lose, if you think you're going to win, if you think you're going to lose, you're right. Whatever you think, it's going to come to fruition. Risley Bear wrote, shout out to Risley Bear. We got a bunch of new people in the building. Shout out. Make sure everybody's liking for the algorithm. We need that. Point blank, not voting for someone who has been found guilty of SA. I'm not going to say it. Okay. All right. Teach their own. Like, I'm not trying to convince you. Vice wrote, Obama just told us that black men are misogynists and need to get over it. Yo, that's what I'm like. Who does Barack think he is? Like, this is what happens. This is what happens when we put people in power and they forget that we're the ones that put them in power. Now he thinks that he can come see, but that's what happened. Everybody loved Barack. Everybody celebrated him. He could do no wrong. And now he feels that he could do no wrong, which is why he stepped out of pocket, stepped out of line, thinking that he was going to get received one way and wasn't, because of all this that we allow him to get away with. All right, let's keep going. with the interview. Let's keep going with the interview. I don't even know what point we're on. I'm going on all these damn.
I will tell you a few of the following. One, as it relates to the
Hold on.
economy.
All right. So let's get back to her answer.
I've been very clear on the point of to your point.
I've been very clear on that. I've been very clear on that. No, you haven't. Matter of fact, I guess maybe she was clear on it because the interview that she just acted at, but this is the thing. If she would have said, oh yeah, I remember that interview. If Charlamagne would have asked her if she would have done anything specifically for black people, she's seen that video. If she would have said, yeah, I saw that video. Or if she would have said, I haven't seen the video, but I stand on it. And this is why she would have gained respect from me. I'm being honest. She would have gained respect from me because she's standing on what we can disagree, but be honest and tell me exactly why you disagree. I can respect that.
So my agenda, well, first of all, on the point of reparations, it has to be studied. There's no question about that. And I've been very clear about that position. In terms of
this is where Charlamagne chimes in and says, Madam Vice President, you know, with all due respect, when do you plan on studying it? You're the vice president now. Like, are you going to wait till, like, isn't this something you just put together a plan for Black America? Like, was that in your plan, or are you still studying?
My immediate plan, I will tell you a few of the following. One, as it relates to the economy, which is a lot of what you have addressed. Look, I grew up in the middle class. My mother, worked hard, raised me and my sister, and by the time I was in high school, she was able to afford our first home. I know what it means for an individual and a family to have home ownership. I also know, in the context of history.
Yo, can I be very clear on this? Because this is something that I don't understand. When she keeps saying that she grew up in the middle class, do most Black people grow up in the middle class? Am I missing something? Because she keeps trying to identify with people by saying she grew up in the middle class. Ma'am, people are trying to get to the middle class. You talking about you grew up in the middle class. People are at the bottom trying to get to the middle class. So how does you and your quote unquote I grew up in the middle class, and now you're wearing $30,000, $60,000 necklaces? How does that relate to somebody whose goal? There's people that they're trying to get votes. Their goal, like, it would be a successful generation if they end up in the middle class. Like, we're acting like the middle class. She talks about the middle class like she's in the slums. The middle class used to look like the American dream. Am I wrong? What is the middle class then? Maybe I'm off on what the middle class is. She's trying to appeal to Black people. She keeps saying, I grew up in the middle class, as if she came from some type of trenches or something like that. The middle class, people will fight and kill to get in the middle class. This is crazy to me. This is crazy. Let's keep going. Hold on. I grew up in the middle class. Like,
nobody got 40 acres and a mule.
Oh, wait, what?
I know what it means for an individual and a family to have home ownership. I also know, in the context of history, nobody got 40 acres and a mule. We have a history of a number of things, including redlining. Detroit knows it well. A history of, for example, something that still exists that I've worked on to address, which is racial bias in home appraisals. And we know home ownership is, Black families are 40% less likely to be homeowners than others.
I just want y'all to keep in mind that the question was on reparations.
And that home ownership is one of the surest ways to build intergenerational wealth, right? Because when you own a home, that's when, if your child says, Daddy, I want to go to college, you can say, sweetheart, don't have to take out a loan. I'll take some equity out of the house. Or if your child says,
these people just don't get it. You know what I would respect? You know what Barack Obama should do, or Kamala Harris should do, if they really care about the Black community? They should figure out, while Kamala Harris is getting on Donald Trump, saying that Donald Trump's going to destroy the Board of Education. All of these things she's talking about, and kids can't read in Chicago. Kids can't read in these Black communities, and she's talking about, she grew up in the middle class and her second mom owned a business. Like, Kamala, what about your life is relatable to theirs? You're not even trying to understand, ma'am, they grew up in something totally different. I'm being totally honest. I feel like I grew up in the middle class, and it wasn't a middle class like my parents risked a lot. Let me choose these words very carefully. My parents risked a lot to perhaps live on the edge of their means to provide a particular life for my brother and me. So I don't think my parents would see themselves growing up at the top of the middle class or the middle of the middle class. Or, I mean, I look around at the neighborhood that we grew up in, and those people came from totally different financial situations than my parents. Let's say that. Me growing up in that particular middle class, most of my friends, the majority of my friends, 95% of my friends, especially maybe more that were black, they didn't grow up in the same neighborhood that I grew up in. They didn't. So how, like, I just don't understand how her screaming and shouting about growing up in the middle class is so relatable. Ma'am, these kids can't read. Barack, why don't you put together a book tour? Instead of pushing Michelle Obama's book, why don't you put together a book tour so we can figure out how to make our kids read at a proper reading level and read certain books that are going to allow them to develop a certain mindset, tools, and skills so they can then apply that to the opportunities that they're going to have in life. Why don't you let that be the reparations? That be the reparations. We're providing books to families, and we're going to work hand in hand with them to change and shift the mindset. I don't know. I just don't understand this. I don't understand why this is appealing to people. And I'll be totally honest, I don't even think this is appealing to people. Even the people that are going to vote for Kamala regardless, like Shai was saying, her family, I'm sure we all got a bunch of family members that are just going to vote for Kamala just because it ain't Trump. I get that. I don't even think this appeals to them. I just think that they're just like, yo, we're going to vote for her regardless. So they defend it. But I really think, like, I wonder, like, yo, who's on your team? Like, who told you to present this particular way? In order, like, it's not, you could say it, be honest, speak your truth, but that's not what these young kids are going through. The kids in the Bronx, the kids in Chicago, the kids in Baltimore, the kids in Philly, the kids in DC, this is not what they're not going. They don't have their second mom that had a small business and they were able to purchase a house and they grew up in the middle class. That's not their lifestyle. That's not what they're trying to get. That's not the hole they're trying to climb out of. Let's move on. Let's move on to 3457. Y'all want to talk about immigration? Let's talk about immigration. Let's play the blame game. It's Dak. Just want to thank you for checking out our video and visiting the OG Network. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you give us a like. And if you're looking to join a community of inspired individuals striving for purposeful abundance, subscribe. And if you're feeling real generous, share the video with some friends and family. All right, I'll see y'all soon. Ew.